Sometimes one has to wait for the best time to post something. I completed the framework just 3 months ago, but every day there's something new, so one waits. But I've had enough. It is time for the second edition of The Backburner, where a topical news story has been given a chance to run through the hype, and one can try to remove some of the emotion and add blunt fact. Now, viewing what's happening in the world at the moment with the added benefit of social media to see people's reactions, one can only wonder how America and Israel seem to be the only nations that are immune to consequences, and how America is the only country that can do whatever it wants without outcry from the public. Now, sure, lately there have been no king's protest marches as Donald Trump has seemingly set himself up as a king doing whatever he wants in any country he wants. On the 6th of April, he floated the idea of becoming president of Venezuela without thinking that they have their own constitutional process to deal with things. But how did we get here? Trump is a businessman, and right now he thinks that he is the CEO of USAPTY Limited, and that by invading another country he becomes their CEO. This is what happens when you give a man who thinks he has veto power to do whatever he wants nuclear codes. Now, public reaction has been varied. I've seen some in South Africa saying Trump gets things done. Some say he's doing God's work, he's taking out Islam. And then there's people who say they voted for everything that Trump is doing. Congratulations. You voted for families to be ripped apart. You voted for Christians to be killed on the other side of the world. You voted for the deaths of hospital patients. You voted for innocent people to be killed in their sleep. You voted for innocent school children who have no concept of what's going on to be killed. You voted for ice raids and terror on the streets. And you voted for hikes in Brent crude oil prices and increased food prices. Now there's going to be some who say, no, but I didn't vote for this, or I didn't know he was going to do this. You voted for him. No, but I didn't. You voted for him. No, but you voted for him. But you voted for him. What do you expect when you give a game show host who doesn't recognize any authority other than his own? Nuclear codes. Let's have a look at the track record. All figures from news sources. In operation starting June 2017, 700 children were separated from their families at the Mexican border between October 2017 and April 2018. According to the Department of Homeland Security, 1,995 children were separated from their families in April and May of 2018 alone. By August 2018, 497 children remained separate from families, and in October 2018, a court was told the total number of children affected was 2,654. 10th of December 2025, the Nobel Peace Prize was awarded to Venezuela. Christmas Day 2025, 15 Christians killed in Nigeria in an area with no ties to ISIS. 3rd of January 2026, Trump kidnaps Maduro and bombs Venezuela, killing 80 people in their sleep. The next week, he said the Greenland is next, posting on the 19th of January that the decision to attack Greenland was because he didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize, saying, considering your country decided not to give me the Nobel Peace Prize, for having stopped 8 wars plus, I no longer feel an obligation to think purely of peace. 28th of February 2026, Trump orders strikes on Iran, and 156 innocent people died, including 120 school children. 27th of March 2026, Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz. 30th of March 2026, Spain closed airspace to America and Trump defies the ban, saying we'll land there if we want and threatening trade sanctions. 5th of April 2026. For context, this was Easter Sunday. Trump posts, "Open the fucking straits, you crazy bastards," followed by, "Praise be to Allah." 5th of March 2026. Trump posts pictures of prayer meetings in the White House. 12th of April 2026. Trump posts a picture of himself as Jesus Christ, and for once, there is an outcry. 19th of April 2026. Trump criticizes the Pope, saying, "Pope Leo is weak on crime and terrible for foreign policy. I don't want a Pope who thinks it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. I don't want a Pope who thinks it's terrible that America attacked Venezuela. And I don't want a Pope who criticizes the President of the United States." Fast forward 3 months. More terror on the streets, with ICE targeting and killing, including a man who was authorized to work in America and who wasn't the target of the raid. And there's people who think, just comply. Here, resisting arrest gets you a jail sentence, not an execution without trial and jury. 18th of August 2025, speaking with President Zelensky, he says, "During the war, you can't have elections. So let me see. 3.5 years from now, if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections." 6th of January 2026, Trump hints at cancelling the midterm elections. 15th of January 2026, he says, "It's a deep psychological thing, but when you win the presidency, you don't win the midterms. When you think of it, we shouldn't even have elections." 17th of June 2026. "No, it's not final. It's a memorandum of understanding, and if I don't like it, we'll go back to shooting at them and dropping bombs on their heads." 16th of November 2011. "Our president will start a war with Iran because he has absolutely no ability to negotiate. He's weak and he's ineffective. When is enough enough?"